Yeah, the hunting and the fishing, it's the blood inside my veins. Through the sun-scorched open fields and the driving autumn rains. It's a passion, it's a freedom, it's the only life I know. Where the river bends and the tall grass grows.
From the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and broadcasting from their studio in the South Mountains of North Carolina, this is Carolina Outdoor Adventures Podcast, where you can experience outdoor adventures each week. Whether it is hunting, fishing, or anything to do with the great outdoors, we are sure to have a topic to interest you. And now here's your host of the Carolina Outdoor Adventures Podcast, Jim Carr.
All right, folks, we're going to run over a little bit tonight because we spent some time with John, and in all fairness to Derrick, we got to spend some time to Derrick. So let me bring in one of our pro staff guys and a real nice guy. He lives up in, I'm going to say Oklahoma, but I get them confused. Some of these guys are in Oklahoma, some are in Arkansas. Half the time they're jumping across the border. So anyways, here's Derrick Marlow from the Battle Branch Boys. Hey, Derrick, what's going on?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Good. Glad you joined us. I know you've been sitting there waiting patiently. We appreciate you waiting.
No problem. It's been a busy afternoon.
I thought maybe if me and Shane could talk to you individually, you two guys, people could understand what's going on. We wouldn't maybe be confusing them, because we're talking about food plots, and you've heard most of the conversation with John, and yours is going to be kind of the same, but just kind of like reverse because you're in the central part of the country.
Yes, Jim. I'm centrally located in Northeast Oklahoma. I hunt Northeast Oklahoma as well as Northwest Arkansas, so I've got kind of some perspective on those two pieces, middle of the state. Now, food plots aren't. They're big in this part of the country if you have the property, but I'm not necessarily the guy that has the property. I have planted food plots in the past. And I would say if I had to choose in this area, we're more of kill plots, which kill plots they're just smaller food plots is all they are.
Okay.
If you start talking about planting a food plot, you're talking about, quarter acre food plot. That's big, around here. But a kill plot's smaller than that because we've got a lot of hardwoods and a lot of standing timber.
That's probably what me and Bo did when we planted up there in the mountain on that Skidder Trail. It was just a confined area in the hardwoods. We weren't even sure if it was going to grow because there was so much shade. But it really grew well. I was surprised how, Shane's in the same circumstance. He hunts up in the mountains in Burnsville, a lot of trees, a lot of cover. And I guess you probably showed me some of your food plots, Shane. I don't remember, but we need to do something on that sometime soon too. But, I just didn't think they would grow, but it really grew pretty well on the shade, believe it or not. It really did. But I'll tell you, it doesn't take any time for a deer when they find them, and you get 5 or 6 or 7 deer at night coming in. It doesn't take any time for them to wipe it right out.
Yeah. So, now, Logan, I want to say he planted. I want to say it was like around 7 or 8 acres of soybeans.
Okay.
Earlier this summer. I was going to say the first part of the summer, but I could be wrong on that. But he did some plot screen where he planted some. I can't really remember what he said it was. I apologize if you can hear my children in the background. By the way, they're lively.
This is a live stream. Anything can happen. Look, I got a whole bunch of pictures that you guys. I asked you to send me pictures here over the past couple of days, and I can't show them, so I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah, my kids we're getting close to bedtime, so they're a little feisty. But anyway, Logan planted some plot screen. He had a small food plot that he felt like maybe the deer didn't feel very safe in. So he thought he would try to give them some more cover. So he actually planted this screen around the whole food plot, and I think he just upped his activity in that area just so much. And so,
Okay.
hopefully you'll see some of that in the Battle Branch Boys episodes coming up, later this fall and into next
Okay.
year. Logan will really touch base on some of that stuff. And so, in my area where I kind of differ from normal, I guess I want to say
Right.
normal, but from Logan and Chase, as far as I'm doing a little bit more, I got my hands on a little bit more public land. I'm also more of like a mobile hunter. So I do a lot of saddle hunting and a lot of hanging hunts. And I do have permanent stands on properties that I can make a run to real quick.
Right.
Say I sleep in, all deer hunters we're all,
Yeah.
we're all guilty of it. You hit that snooze button a little too hard, too long that morning, and you need a stand you can get to real quick.
Yeah.
But some of the deer that I'm going to be targeting this year, Jim, I really think I'm going to be pushing myself way out of my comfort zone, because I think I'm going to be hitting public a little harder this year than I normally have in the past, because I actually have some intel on some bucks on public that I got back in March through some postseason scouting that I would like to find again. So I don't know if we are going to find those bucks. We are running trail cameras right now, but the public that I'm talking about is about 45 minutes away from my house. So we normally leave our cameras set we'll probably let them set for about a month and a half before we go check them.
Basically, what you do, did you have something to say, Shane? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Him hunting.
Go ahead, Shane.
I was just thinking him hunting public land like that. He really don't have, many choices as far as
that. Yeah.
Or anything.
That's what I was going to say. Yep.
In Oklahoma, we can use mineral salts. So if you want to put minerals out for the deer, you can. You cannot use a feed-based attractant. In the clip that Jim's going to show you, in the clip that I put together tonight, you'll actually see in one scene, the camera will look at a mineral site, and then it'll pan over to me where I'm actually in a tree putting a camera up. Now that mineral site is actually an Oklahoma public land, and we've had that mineral lick for probably about 3 years now. And so it's well established. And
you just don't, you're hunting large tracts of public land.
Yes, very large tracts.
Right. See, we have some, but we don't have as large a tracts as you hunt. I mean, you could be hunting 10,000 acres at a time, and I don't know, Shane, if we have anything that big, do we?
We have a few.
Okay.
I've got one here pretty close by. That's a large.
Okay. And I don't know how big South Mountain is up here. It's just behind me up here, about 5 or 6 miles. I don't know how that goes all the way over to Rutherford County, so it must be pretty big.
Yeah, but now in our game lands, we ain't allowed to use no kind of salt or nothing.
But what I was going to say, Derrick, is you just don't step out into the woods a half a mile, a couple hundred yards and hunt. You end up going a mile, 2 miles back in where not many people go to hunt.
Yeah, what I'm learning, Jim, is deeper isn't always better. I'll lay this scenario out for you, okay? So I have located a bachelor group of bucks on public ground here in Arkansas that is 1.25 miles away from my pickup truck where I park.
Wow.
Okay, that is a long walk any way you look at it.
Yes, it is.
Especially
it's a long drag too.
It's so you're not going to go back here and shoot does. I don't know anybody 1.25 miles back so I'm going to go back and shoot a doe. If I'm going to spend all day pulling a deer at it, it's going to be a nice buck.
It's going to be a nice one. Yeah.
But now my public ground in Oklahoma, I'm only about probably 170 yards from the truck.
Okay.
So it really comes down to really reading your ground, where you're at, watching your people, where are they at, where the truck's at, gathering intel just based on people, because there are some overlooked places 20 yards from the parking lot, but then there's some places where you're going to have to dive in and you're going to have to put some miles in them boots, and so.
Well, go ahead, Jane.
It really depends a lot on the area. I know we hunted some game land down around Raleigh, North Carolina. And believe it or not, it seemed like the closer to the housing developments we got, the more deer we found.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Jim.
It's weird. I mean, I have hunted in Georgia, right, not half a mile from the airport, and look off from the tree stand and bow hunting only, and not down in Stone Mountain. You look off from the tree stand, and there's a housing development and deer running back and forth like crazy all over. I mean, I think they get acclimated to the conditions the changes that are happening around them. And I think they grow used to it. They feel more comfortable, so they're more at ease, just acting natural in that environment.
Yeah, for sure, Jim. We see a lot. I mean, I usually try to just start scouting at the end of one season, going into the next one. I try to do postseason. One clip, I think I'm out on Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out Memorial Day scouting, and people are like, it's so hot. Why are you out scouting that time of year? And,
well, there's a piece on this clip that you did just after then, I believe it was.
Yeah. And so I try to scout as much as I can as possible. I don't have all the time in the world, being a father of two. And I was going to announce in the live stream that we're having a third one.
Yeah. And you're getting ready to darn buy another house sooner or later, aren't you? I mean,
we're rolling into buying.
You just keep digging the hole deeper.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and play this clip. It's a very nice clip you put together for us, and it's just going to show. Derrick and probably not Chase, but you had somebody else help you.
Yes, Logan helped me put the clip together.
Logan. Okay, I didn't know if it was Chase or Logan.
Some of the editing, Logan helped me.
They tweaked it up a little bit, and I added something at the end because you guys aren't plugging yourself on YouTube enough. So I put a little thing that says subscribe, please. But anyhow, Derrick's going to show us his hunting area. This is public land.
Yes, this is public.
Okay.
It's gonna be a mixture of actually private, public land in Arkansas and Oklahoma. I'll touch base on it when we get done with it.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll come back and Derrick can tell us all about it. So here's Derrick Marlow out in the woods in Arkansas and
Oklahoma.
Get Oklahoma. There we go again. Okay, preseason preparation. Here we go.
Stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now.
I don't know. You want me to check on X? Because I'm kind of lost at where we are. I know we gotta be bugs. Oh God! Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want. Like them double white oaks right there next to each other. Well, good morning, everybody. It is May 31st. It's Memorial Day. Today, I am probably about 1.75 miles back in on public here in Arkansas yet. I've We've been walking probably about an hour, hour and a half. I haven't done a whole lot of recording yet because we really haven't found a whole lot. But we're starting to happen upon some sign here. We're finding some, we found 2 buck beds already. I'll show you this. This is the second one. We found another one back about 50, 60 yards back over my right shoulder. So I'm going to show you this buck bed right here. This is the kind of stuff we're in here looking for. We're looking for beds. We're looking for old rubs, old scrapes. You can find old scrapes this time of year. Anything that was left over from last season to see if bucks lived to this season, if they're going to follow the same path and same kind of habits they did last year. We have not found any sheds yet, but we have been looking. So let me show you this buck bed real quick. This is right here, and it goes from here all the way down to here. So he's laying with his back against this pine tree, and it looks like a trail. What this is right here, this is a big major bedding area. Right here, what I assume to be a bedding area, it's a big thicket. And we're right on the edge of it. So this is what I would call like a transition line, because we've got big timber here for like a thicket bedding, and then if you come back over this way, we've got pine and stuff back over this way, and it kind of just makes a transition line right here, and we have private back over that way. So, well, the camera came out. It's literally got water all over. It's got condensation inside the lens. And I pulled the SD card out, and it has water all over it too. This whole thing is waterlogged. God, that sucks.
All right, there you go, Derrick. Run with it. That was really good. I really like when you showed the deer bed, because you don't see a lot of guys getting even a good enough picture where you can actually show the deer bed and actually the outline. So that I'm glad you showed that part on there. But tell us what's going on.
Okay, so in that segment there where I started talking about that deer bed is we actually went in on Memorial Day. It's really early to really even consider going in on public, but we went ahead and decided, and when I say we, it was, I got a couple buddies that hunt public with me too, and we all kind of rotate in and through who goes. But we walked into this area that I had some experience with in the past, but I hadn't hunted it a whole lot. But one buddy had said that he wanted to get in there and kind of hunt it a little bit this year. So I said, well, I know the area a little bit. I'll go with you. And so what had happened is we went back as far as we could. And this public is surrounded by private land. And on these private land areas, they can actually bait deer. So they can put corn feeders out, to where on the public, you can't do any of that. So I knew that there had to be some hunters baiting and around these areas, so I knew deer had to be in there somewhere. So we found a really thick, I always called them pine thickets, but they're just areas where pine trees have been logged. Mm-hmm. And smaller pine trees are growing in where the old trees were taken, and it makes this really, you can't see your hand in front of your face in these things. They're so thick, but deer just bed in them like crazy, or like cedar, pine and cedar both. Mm-hmm. And so we started working the transition line from where it goes from pine to hardwoods. So you got like your oaks, or your post oaks, your elms, your what else, red oaks and stuff like that, to your pines. So we started working on transition line, and sure enough, we tripped over 2 beds. And what got me was that they were single beds, and they were only probably about 80, 90 yards apart, and they were good sized beds. And so we started walking around these beds, seeing, well, maybe why is this buck bedding here? And so we just put a plan together, ended up using 2 trail cameras to set it on. We set one camera up on a buckbuster scrape. That was some scent that Jim had sent me. This piece of public, we have to use synthetic. So we set one up on a buckbuster scrape, and then we actually used some pure whitetail power dust on the other one. And it seems like we actually got more pictures of bucks off the buckbuster scrape than we did the pure whitetail power dust. So that was
that's a good piece of good news. All
that was interesting to see that.
That's the synthetic though, right?
That is the synthetic.
Okay.
That's the scrape. That's the scrape enhancer that you sent me, Jim. I was going to sit down with a bottle of it so I could show it, but I forgot. But
you got a lot. You got a lot going on. I mean, you know, it's a lot. You know, a lot of people don't realize. You know, I mean, some might now after listening to you and John tonight, but me and Shane can even tell you. You know, it's you forget to do a lot of stuff when you're filming.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, you know, gee, did I get that big bass on film, or when I actually let go of the arrow, did I actually have the camera turned on? You know, and there's a lot you have to think about. It's not just go out there and spend 30 minutes and make a show.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard trying to capture all the angles and try to be.
It's good at least you got a chance to put the stuff out. So that's a start.
Yeah, we put it out, and I did record a little segment on it though. I think I've got it somewhere. Hopefully, I'm hoping to kind of compile some evidence as far as trail camera pictures and get into the rut, because I really want to see how the bucks and the does and stuff react to this synthetic scent going into them
I
hotter
have one
times.
I've been meaning to send you, and I haven't done it yet, but I'll try to do it. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be up in the mountains, but I'll try to get it to you over the weekend. I've got one where I think I told you guys this, but where we went in and found an old scrape that a buck had made. Well, no, that's not how it worked. I went in and I made a scrape in a swamp. I found where they've been coming in and rubbing the trees, you know, and in and out of the trails. So I went ahead and made a mock scrape. Okay. Came back about a week and a half later, and Bo has seen this. And as I walked up, I could see it looked bigger. But another deer had come down, and right next to my mock scrape, he made another one right next to it. And then he took his footprints and he put his paws and stepped in the one I made. And I'll send the video to you. It was like, wow, man, this is really cool. So this stuff does work. You know, it's just like your favorite bass lure. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't.
Yeah, it was when I first got your shipment in, Jim. I'm this weird guy. The first thing I got to smell it, you know, because synthetic scents. You smell some of them, and you can just tell they're synthetic.
You can tell,
you
but
know?
that stuff really smells close. I mean,
it fooled me. I feel like if we did a smell test, I feel like this stuff could throw a lot of people off. So,
really.
So I'm really impressed with Buckbuster scents.
Well,
so
thank you.
If you haven't tried them, guys, order them. I'm sure Jim can. I think that's on Jim's website.
Yeah, on our Carolina Outdoor Store website, Carolina Outdoor Supply. Yep. Yeah.
I buy you one bottle. I'll tell you, buy you one bottle, use it. You know, there's nothing to try it. It'll speak for itself. So I'm a believer now. So
that's right. Well, okay. So go ahead. I didn't mean to get us off the track, but let's talk. What about your go back to in the woods?
Okay, so
you made a mineral pile of minerals, and it looked like it was a pretty big hole in the ground.
Yeah, that was in our spot in Oklahoma. The buck bed clip is in Arkansas, so that's public land in Arkansas. Oklahoma, now Arkansas, you can use synthetic scents, but you can't use natural, and you cannot bait at all. Because we're in the CWD management area.
Yes.
You can bait on private land, but it's only in a certain period of time. Public land is prohibited, so you can't do anything on. You just got to go hunt the sign. But the mineral lick on in Oklahoma is our short access that is a really good spot. And we actually had an encounter with a really nice buck 2 years ago, and on an early October afternoon, what I would say first half of a cold front. But real good buck come in on me and a buddy, and I wish I had that hunt on film, but I wasn't filming that day. But we almost got a shot off at him. But ever since then, we found this spot actually turkey hunting. And we were in there turkey hunting, and I told my buddy, said, we need to come back to this and hunt it. So we went back and hunted, had the encounter with the buck, and we've just been putting minerals in it ever since. So last year, we ended up putting a camera there, but I never went back to it. I got busy hunting private land and chasing other bucks, and I just never had time to go back to the public land. So we pulled the card out of the camera in January. The batteries lasted all season. So we had almost 8,000 images of a whole start to finish season on this mineral lake. And we had one buck that was a bruiser. He was a 5x6. I wish I would have been there to see him, but we know he's still alive. He was alive. We had pictures of him just a couple days before season ended. So unless somebody shot him the last 2 days
He
of
got
season
hit by a car or something.
we think he's still alive. So we're hoping we have pictures of him again.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's what I'm just going to try to do this year, Jim, is have put all this time and effort into public land, but I get kind of sidetracked chasing deer on private land. I kind of forget. So this year, I think I'm really going to push myself to kind of get a little, get a little more intact with the public land.
Okay, well, that leads me to this question. The Battle Branch boys, coming up is going to be season 3?
Yes.
It's going to be season 3 coming up. Tell us about the Battle Branch boys just a little bit. There's 3 of you.
There's 3 of us. There's me, myself, there's Chase, Chase Shaver, and then there's Logan Shelley. Now, Chase and Logan have some more time as far as filming than I do. I'm kind of I guess I call myself the baby of the group.
Slacker? Is that
I'm kind of slacker and the baby of the group here. They've been filming their hunts a little bit longer than I have.
Right.
And they have some more as far as experience in that department. But we all 3 came together. We actually all ran our different YouTube channels.
Okay. Did you really? Okay.
Yeah, and at one point in time, we probably all considered each other competition. Because when you're a local guy doing YouTube and you got other guys doing it, you want to outdo the other guys. It's just
right.
But we ran along there, and I actually got out of filming, and I honestly wasn't ever going to do it again. I kind of quit, but I rocked along there where I wanted to get back into it, so I just happened to call Chase and Logan, who were still doing it, and so they was kind enough to invite me into their circle and their group. And last year was my first year as a Battle Branch boy, and so I'm definitely excited about season 3. Can't wait for y'all to see it. I unfortunately
I can't wait to see it either.
I unfortunately did not punch a buck tag last year, but let me tell you something, guys. I had some amazing encounters that I would consider last year a very successful year, because you put yourself within 40, 50 yards of a 130-inch deer or bigger, you're doing something right, So
now, do y'all use the cell cam, the cell trail cameras?
Yes, Shane, we do. I do. I think Logan has one, and then Chase uses one. Last year was my first year ever using the cell camera, and I was kind of impressed, but I was also kind of sad at the same time, because let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than getting a picture of your number 1 hit list buck with his nose buried in your mineral lick, and you're at work.
Yeah. Well,
and you've got 10 hours to go. So cell cameras are they're great gathering intel. They're awesome, but that was one drawback. And just a huge shout out if you Tacticam Reveal. We're not sponsored by them at all, but just as being a user of that camera, I have two of them, and I was very impressed. They have great cameras, and they send great. I mean, they're just great all around. We put them in places we didn't even think we would get cell service, and we got it. So
Neat.
they were very impressive.
Well, you guys have a good package. The three of you, you make a good team. I say that because I get to see a lot of your stuff that we put up on the Roku channel. You can find out a whole lot more about the Battle Branch Boys, and you can see the Logan and Chase. You can see them and see what they're doing. Go to their Facebook page, go to their YouTube page, and once again, they are one of our content providers, and they do some really fantastic hunts, and we put them up on our Roku channel. So check them out. Like and share their page. Tell all your friends, because these guys are a growing hunting show, and they really do a really professional job. I mean, I have to say that. I mean, most of you guys that we have on here, you put the extra time into doing what you're doing to try to make it professional and try to make it, enjoyable for our viewers. So, Shane want to thank you for putting in that extra time. But all right, well, we went over a little bit tonight, Derrick, and like I said, I really appreciate you coming in, give us a little time. We wanted people here this evening seeing deer season. When is your deer season open?
We have Arkansas opening on September 25th, and Oklahoma will open on October 1st.
Okay. John will be out there winging arrows a long time before us then, I guess, because they're getting ready. I think he said he's going Monday, so I don't know. That's a little. I've hunted South Carolina that early, and it gets pretty warm down there. There's still a lot of creepy things running around down there that time of year. So, but you gotta love it.
Not only that, but if you shoot one, you ain't got but a short time to find it till it runs.
That's true too. That's even with our bow season. When I was hunting up in the mountains up there on Buffalo Cove Road up that way, I mean, if you shot a deer bow season, you had to come out of the stand by noon because it got warm enough to where you needed to get him processed, because he was going to spoil it if you didn't do something fast.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But all right, well, say hello to the guys for us.
Will do.
We need to get them on there. They're getting pretty slack too. I mean, you've been, the newbie's been carrying all the weight here. There's something wrong with that picture. So.
Well, that's yeah. Don't tell them that, but
I guess they figured they're going to put the new guy out there and let him do it, right?
Well, that was what we were talking about the other day. Is last year I would get frustrated because I didn't have any bucks on camera, and so I'd have to sit in our little group chat and watch Chase and Logan go back and forth with all their buck pictures. And so that's kind of what's happening again this year. Is they actually have all the bucks, and I'm kind of just hanging out here. So hopefully we'll have some good updates coming down the pipe once we get back to public. But you got to bear with me because I'm preparing for a new baby and I'm buying a house.
Yeah, I know. You got a lot going down. But all right, well, we appreciate the deer scent plug, and we appreciate what little time you have getting on here and talking to our viewers and telling them the difference between, how your hunting is up there in your area compared to the way it is down here in the South. So I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that, they hunt their own little spot. And, there's even a lot of difference between where I hunt and Shane hunts. Believe it or not, it's an hour away. So, it's a lot of difference. But all right, we're going to let you go, Derrick. Appreciate it. Keep up the good work, you guys, and get us a bunch of good deer footage and a bunch of good shows this fall.
We will do that. And guys, make sure you check out Buckbuster Scents. All right. See you.
All right. Good night. Have a good week.
You too.
All right, Shane. Well, what do you think?
I think it went great, Jim.
I learned a little bit about what's going on up there, and it's always neat to find out what somebody else is doing.
Absolutely. I meant to make the comment a while ago when I asked John about. I know up here, if like when you first lease a tract of land or something, depending on what you want to plant on it, you can take a soil sample, and if I'm not mistaken, take it to the ASCS office, and they can tell you what kind of fertilizer or ammonia or lime or whatever that you need to plant.
Okay.
For your crop to do good. And I didn't know if they had anything like that available there or not.
I don't know. Well, that'd be a good question to ask them next time. You can text him and ask him. It'd be a good thing to ask him. And well, all right, we got to get up early in the morning, Shane. Bo's ready. I'm ready. I guess we're going to go and try a new lake. Hopefully, we're going to be able to bring you guys out there watching the show a new lake that we're going to fish. Shane's been there. I haven't. But if we do good at this one lake, after lunch, we're going to go to another one that's not too far away. I think that's what we're kind of planning, that neither one of us have been to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if we're going to be able to do any good live streams for you folks out there, because it's not like the one we fished a few weeks back. More mountains, and Shane says the phone signal is not that great. We'll try it, but I can't guarantee we're going to really have a good live stream for you. But we will do some video. I can guarantee you that. One way or the other, we'll do some video. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. And I want to take a few minutes and thank everybody that tuned in tonight. This is just getting better and better. We're trying to bring you some good live streams, and we're trying to bring you some good programming that will bring information to our audience that they find useful. So that's what we're trying to do here. And Shane, I want to thank you for co-hosting the show and for being co-host on Carolina Outdoor Adventures TV. And
happy to be.
I'm glad that we're doing a lot of stuff there. So, all right, guys, we're going to get out of here for this evening. Shane and I are going to hit the water tomorrow. It's going to be a long, hot day. It's been hot, folks, here in North Carolina. For those of you that don't live here, it's been like today was 94. It's been in the 90s so far every day this week. So, and some of you guys, you live with that all the time, but we don't usually get a whole lot of that here in North Carolina, but we sure are this summer. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again I'm scrolling it. We'll be back again on the 26th. I don't know who will be here with us. Maybe me and Shane will get on here and just talk about some of our fishing adventures that we've been on here the past couple of weeks. I know we've got some really good shows for you coming up that we did here in the past couple of weeks. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Jim Carr, and for Shane Cannon, we hope you enjoyed the program this evening. We'll see you in another couple of weeks. Thanks for tuning in and watching the show, everybody.
Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe to YouTube Carolina Outdoor Adventures TV for all things hunting, fishing, and exciting outdoor videos.